Hello, Aries, my dears. I wasn't going to do Aries right now, but it kept yelling Aries. Oh, hello, Lulu. Okay, so the image that I got of you was this. You're running on a battlefield and you're charging gung-ho ahead into the fray, but nobody's with you. And all of a sudden you look around and it's like, there's no fray. But what's interesting about it is almost childlike because it's not a real helmet. It's like a pot that you've put on your head. And your sword isn't really a sword. It's like a broomstick or something of that nature that's, made up. But then you also stand and look around and you realize that people over here are having a conversation, a perfectly good conversation, so they don't have to go into battle. So this brings two things to mind for me as I'm working with this, and as I pull the cards, it makes perfect sense. The sense that I got with it was the very fact that you're running into battle, like really with that fiery Aries energy. That's true. That's real. But the fact that you're dressed as a child says to me, this may be this attitude, this fierceness of needing to fight for something or against something might be coming from that childhood place of, I'm feeling as I say that, a certain kind of insecurity where you need to fight before you talk. It's like you've got to stand your ground before. There's a quality of defensiveness that sometimes prevents you from taking the blinders off and realizing that there may be peaceful solutions or alternatives, and that you might actually do better if you choose to move forward with grace and just take a new look at things. Okay, so take a new look at things in two ways. One, if your pattern has been to charge in before you really have a conversation about something and try to negotiate something, or even just make your feelings and your needs known. If that's a pattern, look at doing it differently. But the other thing is, it went away. Where was it? Come back. It was that. That is something you get to look at. Okay? Doing things new, doing things in a new way now gives you the opportunity to really start understanding what some of your patterns have been around moving forward with that fiery energy. But before we go on, I want you to know, Aries, you're a fire sign. You're going to feel inclined to do that. That's part of your nature. But that fiery quality is to move forward. Fire wants to move. It's about expressing itself outward like this. And the thing is, when it's a balanced fire, that's fantastic. That's so dynamic. When, however, it is coming out of a sense of preventative self-protection before you even approach it from another way, what it can do is it can create a lot of barriers in your life as opposed to boundaries. It can create a lot of walls of communication because people will defend against that. So you're being asked to look at, is this a pattern for you where it is something that kind of overtakes you? Is that your first place? Do you do that instead of negotiating or communicating in a cooperative way? Do you? And because what you're being told here is that this fiery energy of Aries is really great. It's very powerful and it can get a lot done. And it can move quickly when it's balanced and when it's being used in a way that is, so a balanced fire is about creating cooperation. It is about creating win-win situations. It's about its power, but it's power in a way that is designed to build and support everybody involved. Okay? So that's what's being looked at here. And the idea, of course, is fire Fire is not just anger. Fire is passion. Fire is movement. Fire is warmth. Fire is so many wonderful things until it burns out of control. And what we want for everybody is for us to find the balance within us so that whatever our predominant energy is gets to be used to the best advantage. So for you, my lovely Aries, I would like you to look at this as an opportunity to move inward towards understanding yourself better. Where does your fire get out of control and prevent you from creating cooperation and instead put up walls? Where does your fire burn so hot that you lose your ability to be grounded and centered and take everything into consideration from an open way as opposed to a very one-pointed way? This is about you growing. This is about you understanding the beauty of your fire and the security of it, because really often that quality of needing to rush into things armed really does come from a sense of insecurity and vulnerability. Sometimes it can also come in with because of having a judgment about something where you are just so sure that your way is right that you're not open to understanding and respecting the fact that somebody else's view is equally valid. And you might have to respect that. It might mean you don't get what you want or all of it. That's where the negotiating part comes in. Negotiating, yes, I lived in Quebec for many years. That's where the negotiating part comes in, okay? That's where the balanced fire creates cooperation. Now, what you're being told here is, for those of you for whom this resonates, and it won't for everybody, for those of you for whom this resonates, if you are in that position right now, you're being asked to really lean into an energy of grace and the idea of grace. So what's grace? It's smooth and easy. There's an experience of letting the benevolent universe take us through our movements and guide us with a loving hand. Okay? There's a quality of being able to ease into that sense of there is a greater power than me and I can trust that it's working in my best interest. Now, what do I need to do? Well, I need to take a chance on doing things differently. I need to take a chance on maybe not trying to burn something down, not trying to blow something up, not trying to force something. Maybe I can look around and see if there's a table where people are negotiating and I can take the pot off my head and the stick out of my hand and I can go, okay, you know what? Hey, well, I had all that momentum running forward, but seeing as how I'm out here alone, and there's nobody there to actually fight, all of a sudden the steam can go out of you, okay? That's not a bad thing. We want the steam to come out of you so that you can actually sit down, lean into grace, take a chance on trying to do things differently. And remember, if you're running into situations like this, it's all about growth. It's all about all of us learning about where our energy's out of balance, where it's not serving us, and how we can adjust it so that it does serve us, so that we can make the best of it. You know, having fiery energy is great. It's great. Again, when it's balanced, it will serve you and everyone around you. Okay? That's it, Aries. Take it easy. Bye-bye.